often I'm getting these wonderful emails like this one from Miss Elodie, who's willing to give me $6.2 million. Sounds legit, right? WhatsApp, Facebook, email, you name it, you get these scam messages. You've won $1 million. All you gotta do is send every piece of information that you've ever had about yourself in a nice spreadsheet, make it easy for them so they can withdraw all your money. You don't get shy on camera?
No.
No, you're always on camera?
Yeah, on his camera. I live in Pokhara more than 20 years.
So since you've been a kid?
Yeah.
What has changed the most here in Pokhara? What do you miss?
Miss is a lot of Western people because for COVID, find a job quite difficult. No, still people not travel much because for my Nepal, like government politics things, many things, sometimes scary, but it's safe.
It is very safe.
I like Pokhara because I don't boring in my place town because we have nice lake with Himalayas.
You know everything about Pokhara.
Yeah. I'm tour guide in here.
Which less known place should people go to?
Go to the like Panchase hills and then go to the some waterfalls in canoeing area. I want to walk in here, but what do you do? Because I have more responsibility with my family as well. Survive to life very difficult, But now it's not tourism. What happened? We don't know.
Today's video is going to be about some problems that I have. I guess issues or difficulties would be a better word for it. Living here in Nepal, but as life always goes, what you plan rarely actually happens. And so here in the park when I was walking around, met a Nepali gentleman named Ganesh. We're talking about his difficulties here surviving in Nepal, going through COVID, going through the other kind of disruptions that have happened in his life. And I think it's strange to think about our issues, our problems, our distractions, our disruptions, and then to also hear somebody else's and the story they've had to live through. I know for myself I have this problem of comparing my problems and issues to somebody else's, and then mine seem either way worse or they seem superficial. And today was one of those days where I thought that my problems were much more superficial than his. And I reflected on this and I thought it would be difficult to kind of make my funny mishaps, my funny story about the issues that I've been kind of experiencing when they don't really affect my life or have these major implications on what I do. But when he was telling his story, he was talking about COVID and these other disruptions in Nepal, such as the civil war or the earthquake or COVID, or even recently the plane crash that's happened here in Nepal, and how it's greatly reduced the amount of tourists or people that feel safe in the country. And with his job of being a tour guide, this has directly influenced his livelihood, and it's made it difficult for him to thrive as a tour guide. Or before COVID, he had his own shop that he had to close down because of the lockdown and the issues of him not being able to make any sales. And lockdown was not an easy time. A lot of people struggled through it. I was here in Kathmandu, and I remember lockdown being from 10 a.m. all the way till the next morning at 6 a.m. And for these business owners and these people trying to survive, especially in an economy like Nepal that is based off of tourism, almost impossible for these businesses to stay afloat. And that's something I've seen here in Pokhara as well, is a lot of these old restaurants that I remember from before COVID happened have all closed down. In my video yesterday, I went into this old bar named Beyond the Wall, this amazing, beautiful place that had to close up because of COVID. And I can't even imagine how many other shops or people actually had to go out of business because of lockdown. Oh, that one was good. One thing I'm really guilty about is kids have a little kid over here watching me. Look at, hello, bye. It's trying to stay to my agenda. I wanted to shoot a certain video. I had this certain idea in my mind, and when I was talking to this gentleman, at first I kept trying to lead the conversation into one direction so I could get the information or the answers and the conversations that I was looking for. You know, I realized halfway through, I wish I would have realized before this, but I realized halfway through what I should be doing is listening to this kid and listening to what he has to say and his experiences and think about his stories. During COVID, that was one of the biggest things that I was able to do. Is during that year of lockdown, I was able to read a book a week. It was very enriching to kind of dive into these different stories and take bits and pieces from them and then apply them to my life. And I think that was one of the biggest growth years for myself. From the things that I learned and the insights that I gained, not just from my own experiences and my own thoughts while being in lockdown, being isolated, but also from the stories of great thinkers in the past. Different stories that I read all added a little something to my understanding of life and my understanding of myself. I think that's a lesson that I'm going to take from today is I shouldn't just be listening for my own agenda, but I should be actively listening and considering what they're saying and internalizing what they're saying and understanding it and parsing through it so I can be a better communicator, I can be a better listener, I can actually be there and hopefully help somebody in a certain way, let them get off their chest or let them speak what they need to speak, or to maybe provide some of my own insight or some of my own experiences that can help them. There's this helicopter that's distracting us now, so time to move. Bye bye, helicopter. All done, bye. There goes my cow friend. These things will just eat anything. Just watched him eat a bunch of trash for, I don't know, 10 minutes. Today I've been really lucky meeting people and talking to them about some interesting things. And it gives you this look into what life is actually like here in Nepal. You know, that cultural iceberg where you have everything above the waterline that you can easily see and detect as a foreigner. But underneath it's, you know, the decisions, the communication, the societal norms that kind of reinforce or drive those decisions that people are making on an everyday basis. And I'm really lucky to be able to dive into some of those things by speaking with people. It also gives me an opportunity to talk about my life in America and talking about, you know, what they see in Hollywood movies or what they see on social media. And one of the biggest kind of questions that I always get is how to go to America. And America is the dream. That's the dream place for us to go. And you know, it's strange because there's a lot of Americans or people from Western countries that want to leave their homes and they want to travel and they want to see the world and they want to work abroad. And this is something that I spoke about earlier, about wanting to partake in a different society and a different culture, an opportunity to learn from other people in the world and their lifestyles. I'm also speaking from a point of privilege because I have the access and I have the means to do that. And because of where I'm from and the strength of my passport, I can easily travel the world. Thinking about this, I think it ties back into the problems and issues that people do have in their everyday life where they don't have necessarily the means for a livelihood, and it gets closed down, like the gentleman I talked to earlier, saying that COVID completely ruined his business. And even now the amount of tourists that come is low compared to what it used to be. And it's these type of conversations that I have that help me put into perspective my life, my problems, my issues, my thought process compared to what other people in the world are also facing, feeling, thinking. Hello.
Wanna use ISIS?
No, thank you.
You don't want?
Not today. Understanding all the dynamics that go into that and build into what the complexity is. And it's way more than I can discuss or even think about today. And it's something that I have been pondering for a long time and will continue to ponder. And I think the best way to be able to continue this kind of pursuit into understanding and to knowledge is to communicate with people from different societies, from different cultures, from different walks of life, and then be able to kind of piece together the different stories of everyone to understand what this is all about. A much more serious video than I was planning on making today, but this is how conversations go. That's it.